Spending time in nature in a mindful way is making its way into health and wellness practices worldwide. The joy and benefits of taking a slow walk where wild things grow is a simple antidote for our nature-deprived lives. Welcome to our Mindfulness and Nature Discovery webinar. Nature is such an influential piece of our lives. Many of us have a multitude of stories and memories of time spent in nature. Today, we will learn about mindfulness in nature, understand the concept, gain insight to the nuances of the practice, and discover the plethora of scientifically proven benefits. It is a simple, straightforward, safe, inexpensive, and highly effective way to nurture your mind and body. We will indulge in a 10-minute filmed walk in the forest of the Canadian Shield with a certified forest therapy guide. My name is Taimi. I am a certified forest therapy guide with the Association of Forest and Nature Therapy. We each have a life story that brings us to our now. Mine led me to time in nature. I grew up on a farm and spent many beautiful hours of most days outdoors. As I became an adult, I seemed too busy to be outside other than for chores like grass cutting, hanging the laundry on the line, or window washing. When tragedy struck as I lost my 7-year-old daughter to stroke, I needed to find my way back to happiness. My mother's elderly friend told me to go put my hands in the dirt and walk in the woods. And so I did. I found wellness again. When I learned that time spent in nature had real life-changing value, I wanted to understand it better and potentially share this practice with others. And so I became a guide. Bringing mindful attention to the natural world healed me. You might also know this as forest therapy, Shinrin Yoku, forest bathing, or nature therapy. The focus of forest therapy is to support and improve the well-being of the participants through guided experiences in the forest and other natural settings. E.O. Wilson, a Harvard biologist, proposed that since we are nature in ourselves, we will always be drawn to all nature and feel deprived when we're not connected to it. Here's the concept. A forest therapy guide leads you on a slow, quiet walk and invites you to pause and take notice of your surroundings through a series of invitations. Each invitation is part of a sequence that is specifically designed in a synchronized format to help you connect with nature in a meaningful, healing way. Essentially, each invitation calls you to the present, to quiet your busy mind, and to help you to appreciate the moment that you are in. There are 3 elements considered in crafting an invitation of mindfulness in nature. Number 1, each invitation is created to be sensitive to the day, the environment, the things that are happening in nature during the experience. Number 2, the wording is open, intended to be interpreted by the participant and not prescribed. In other words, the guide will not tell you what to do or how to feel. That is directed by you. You hear the words and use them as you see fit, whatever is comfortable for you. Number 3, they are designed to stir curiosity, stimulate the senses, and explore the environment with a childlike wonder. They help you to slow down and take notice. You become aware of what is happening around you and somehow become in tune with the fluidity of nature. You will experience the surroundings through your senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Your senses may, in turn, stir emotions, feelings, sensations. Participants claim that it's easier than classic meditation as it seems to be more in tune with our natural inner workings of the mind. Paying attention to our senses calms the mind and allows us to slip into the present moment. Sight. Imagine the mesmerizing sway of a pine tree in the breeze, or the drift of feathery clouds across the blue sky, or the vivid colors of wildflowers in the meadow. Picture the spiral of a shell of a snail, or the fractal pattern of a leaf, or the delicate design of a dandelion in seed. Slowing down to take in the visual world that surrounds us can bring delight, fascination, curiosity, and so much more. Sound. We are surrounded by sounds. A recent study by Carleton University in Ottawa, Ontario, has found that nature sounds can alleviate stress, improve mood, and enhance cognitive performance. That's a big deal. Imagine the sound of loon calls echoing down the lake, the rustling of a poplar tree in the morning breeze, or the melodic babbling of a gentle stream. Even in urban areas, nature sounds are all around us. We just need to pause and listen. Smell. What are the aromas of this season? How do they differ from the season before? What does the air smell like? What does it carry? What fragrance are the trees emitting? Even though smell is not our most strongest sense, it directly connects us to our yesterdays. What does the scent of the forest remind you of? Does it stir cherished memories? Touch. We often forget to pay attention to this important sense. As a toddler, we may have been told, "Do not touch." This actually becomes part of our behavior as we neglect to explore through touch. You may need to learn how to adventure in this way. Touch can be experienced by noticing the solid ground beneath our feet, or the sensation of the warm sun on our face, or the rough texture of the bark of a tree, or the silky smooth, cool surface of a river rock, or the social bonding of petting your favorite animal friend. Touch can help you connect with nature. Taste. Tasting food or drink can enliven your experience and even create an emotional response. Paying attention to this sense can deepen your appreciation for nature. Slowing down to savor the things we consume can help us to notice flavors and textures. We use our physical and emotional senses to enjoy and taste the food we eat. It provides a powerful conduit to conscious living. Each forest therapy session includes a wild forage tea and snack. This is shared at the end of the walk as it helps participants complete their sensory experience and prepares them for the closing of the session. Imagine a cup of tea in the surroundings of the forest that emits the scent of the pine tree, wild mint, and red clover. Taste a wedge of crisp apple, crunching roasted almonds and soft figs. Spend a moment to savor. Forest therapy is more than just a walk in the woods. A guide offers nature connection activities structured in a carefully designed sequence that aims to create experiences that enhance nature connectedness and relationships, boosting the therapeutic and restorative effects of nature for health and well-being. The guide will craft the walk according to the setting, the season, the weather, the participants, and to the guide's own style of leading a walk. A guide is trained to be sensitive to the nuances of the day, helping you to get the most out of your time in nature. It is likened to other experiences, such as participating in a yoga class. The instructor leads you through a series of exercises that creates a flow and thorough experience of movement and mindfulness. You may know many yoga positions and could potentially put together a regime that suits yourself. However, being in a class enhances and enriches your overall benefits and outcomes. Being guided by a trained professional makes the effort worthwhile. Forest therapy originated in Japan about 1982. This country had the third highest suicide rate, followed by South Korea and Hungary. So the Japanese government decided to invest $4 million in research and development of a program. They created 62 designated forests with a goal of expanding that to 100, and they have currently more than 5 million visitors annually to their forests. South Korea has invested $140 million into a new forest therapy center. They plan to train 500 forest healing instructors in 34 different forests. Finland is contributing research and designating forests for this practice as well. There are over 100 studies to demonstrate the benefits of forest therapy, with a test group of more than 290 million people. The Association of Forest and Nature Therapy, the agency that trained me, has more than 800 guides now. This is growing each month in over 60 countries and on 6 continents, guiding in a dozen or more languages and in many cultures. Additionally, there are other agencies training guides. It's a growing body of support, building momentum. Mindfulness in nature is a practice of developing a deepening relationship of reciprocity, in which the forest and the practitioner find a way to work together that supports the wholeness and wellness of each. Without regenerative relationships, cultures develop flaws that lead to their undoing. We need to look after our planet. The practice of mindfulness in nature is capturing the attention of the media. Countless articles, podcasts, documentaries, books, news features, and symposiums of different sorts are talking about it. It's becoming mainstream. In my opinion, this is wonderful news as we strive to get the word out there. To bring this close to home, recently I was honored to receive the Trailblazer Award from the Research Institute for Aging here in Canada for a nature therapy program entitled Mindfulness in Nature, designed specifically for the senior living sector. I feel this is a really big deal and a giant step in the right direction to acknowledge this sort of work. My Mindfulness in Nature program is created to help seniors connect with the natural world via an online program, giving access to the forests, lakes, and mountaintops to the changing seasons, and to the flora and fauna that transition throughout the year. I was honored to work alongside of seniors and senior living experts as we designed this program together to remove barriers. The practice. The people who lead the practice are called guides, as I'd already mentioned. I, as a guide, facilitate your connection with nature. The forest is the therapist, and the guide opens the door. A typical walk is slow-paced, 1 kilometer or less, a full sensory experience, so sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. And it's very straightforward, safe, inexpensive, highly effective. Your guided walk will be composed of a sequence of carefully worded and created invitations, and you will be encouraged to generously give your attention to the forest so that you can relax and experience the healing ways of nature. With each invitation, you only do what feels comfortable for you. An example of an invitation might be, we are surrounded by color. What stands out for you? Scent, sound, sight, touch, taste, and the way that you feel. Begin your wandering by foot. Connect to the present moment. Embrace the here and now, and awaken your senses. Participants say that it feels natural to connect to nature. It just makes sense. It seems like the fauna and flora are waiting for them to take notice. Often people exclaim that it opens them up to a childlike wonder that they forgot existed. Once a soft fascination activates, it becomes easy and instinctual. Our bodies have an incredible capacity for self-healing. We are optimized for nature environments. I share with you a list of common and scientifically verified benefits reported by participants. Here's the list. The benefits include reduced stress and anxiety, boosted immune functioning, improved concentration and creativity, increased feelings of comfort and well-being. It leaves you in a better mood. Decreased blood pressure, more restful sleep. You may be curious about the benefits of participating virtually versus in person. Many people are not able to wander the forests in person for various reasons. Scientific studies have demonstrated that most of the same benefits of forest therapy can be experienced by participating virtually. Isn't this great news? In a few moments, we will take a virtual walk through the forest. Now that you know some of the basics about mindfulness in nature, forest therapy, allow me to guide you on a virtual walk in my forest. I walk every day. I take my phone with me to capture the moments that catch my attention. The film and photos that I share are mine, taken throughout the year. When I walk, I find that each walk is unique, as nature presents something different for me to notice. The seasons continuously transition. I'm inspired by how gracefully it happens. I'm fascinated by this. It feels like there are surprises waiting for me to discover. I am fortunate to live amongst the Canadian Shield rock formations, iconic North Country lakes, flowing streams, coniferous and deciduous forests, meadows, and wetlands. Each day I hear the sounds, breathe in the aromas associated with my surroundings, and I'm reminded of how nature feels in my body, mind, and spirit. This is a mindful way to bring a familiar connection with nature back into your life again. When we walk, imagine yourself walking alongside me. But for a moment, we'll pause and answer some questions that you may have before we take our walk together.